Yo, what is good, everybody, man? Welcome back to another Kids Room podcast episode. Hopefully, y'all feeling loved and blessed as always, bro. Before we get into the episode, though, real quick, check out the ebook and the next book I'm finna put out. I'm gonna go ahead and put a preview of the book right now in the video to show y'all just kind of what it's gonna be. It's gonna be an interactive book. It's for kids, a 6 week program. If you look into it, I'm gonna leave the link for my ebook, especially in the bio first. Soon enough, the program book will be started. If you want to get more info on that, Instagram, anything like that, that's on my link tree. Go ahead and message me if you're interested in anything like that. But besides that, bro, let's go ahead and get into this episode. All right, man. As always, bro. Hopefully y'all always loved and blessed, bro. And when I say that, I hope you really, truly believe that each and every day you have to know that you are loved and you are blessed and you continue to move forward, no matter what things may look like, no matter what kind of situation you're waking up into, how your life kind of is. You have to start taking responsibility first for your decisions and how your life is looking, right? Because we can change it. It might take time, it might not happen overnight, but your decisions start off first. And second is your mindset. If you make good decisions, you have a better mindset. Or if you have a better mindset, you'll make good decisions. So if you want to have better decision skill making and things like that, you have to have a better mindset. So if you're more positive, you're going to make certain decisions to make your life more positive, not negative. That's not going to hinder them in any type of way. Which goes into my topic on today, which basically is your time, right? Your next opportunity, your moment, the times that you're going to start winning in life, you feel like you can't lose. That's never determined, right, by your circumstances. What do I mean by that? It can still be your time, even when life doesn't look like it at all. I have 3 points about that I made that I want to kind of go over on today's episode. Because your circumstances may show one thing, but God's plan for you is a whole lot greater, a whole lot better. And when you put that into your mind and you wake up every day believing that, a lot of things can change in your life. You'll be surprised that your mind, your brain can actually remake itself, make it unrecognizable to your even your own being, because you are reforming it, reshaping it every day to think and do and make decisions based off of things that you are going towards, not what you are currently in. Okay? First off, circumstances change, but your calling does not. What do I mean by that? What you're going through today, if you don't have the job that's making you the certain amount of money that you want to have or anything like that, it's not all about money, first off. I will say that. But if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for a relationship, if you're looking for uh, to break an addiction, to break bad habits and things like that, right? Your circumstances today are going to look opposite of what you're going towards, because clearly your present is not satisfying you enough to keep staying in it. So you want to change it. So your circumstances may look negative, but your calling is positive. If God has called you to be a lawyer, but right now you're struggling, you can't even pass a class, or maybe your life ain't together. A lot of people, like, a lot of things in your life are just kind of adding up, and life is just happening to you, and life happens to everybody. But your circumstances do not change your calling, does not change your purpose. What you are going through, your emotions, does not change where God is going to put you, where God wants you to head. Remember, David was anointed as king while he was tending sheep. Before he knew he was gonna be king, right? It wasn't as if he was tending sheep saying he wished he was king. The kingmanship, like being able to do that, went through battle, went through all these struggles and things like that, man. He was looked over many times, over and over and over, right? Even by his own family. But while he was tending sheep, what he was doing had nothing to do with being king, but it did because it was training him to prepare him to be a king, right? Do not let that go over your head. A lot of things that you are going through and what you're doing now is developing you for what you will need later. So it might be a lot right now, but soon enough, it could be easier later. It could be something that you need later. And you might not even need to do everything that you're doing now, right? Right now, we're just trying things until something works. That's what that's what we're all trying to figure out. We're all trying to do something until we figure out what works. And then when you find out what works, you're not gonna continue to look for other things. You're gonna figure out once you find out how that works, you're gonna continue to use that same system over and over to develop it and scale it and grow it and to do things like that, right? Preparation is part of timing. That's my second point because God wants you to be isolated. God puts you away to build you. Do not take isolation as a negative thing. Isolation does not always mean you are by yourself. Isolation means maybe you don't have as much free time. Maybe you don't have as much free money to be spending on random things. Maybe your time has to be used to a better standpoint. You have to stop procrastinating and things like that. So God is putting you away, right, to prepare you. So what you may think is a curse to you, or maybe this is downtime because this is something that is a punishment or it's negative, or you're not doing as much you want to do, you're not making as much you want to make, you're not feeling the same way you used to feel. But that is the time of being in the fire, being in the process, and falling in love with the progress, and then not knowing when the progress is going to meet that success, but then you forget about the success as much, even though you want that. That just ends up coming to you because you fall in love with the process, and the process will eventually fall in love with you, and then you will be refined. And then whenever you come out of that furnace, of that fire, of that trial, of that tribulation, of that challenge, then you will be a new creature. As God has already said, that we are a new creation, we are a new creature. So we do not conform unto the world, but we conform unto the things that God has called us to, because the world wants us to be a part of it. But if God said you are new, then the world will reject you, and then there's nowhere else for you to go. So if the devil has dominion over this planet and sin has dominion over this planet, right? Clearly God is above all. But when things are uh, causing havoc in your life and chaos in your life, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? If you cannot confide into yourself, you have done that many of times and it has not worked. So you have to confide with who? God. So then your circumstances do not look the way that you want them to look. So you think that your calling is different, your purpose is different, but no, because of your decision making and what is going on in your life, you think that your calling, your purpose is different. No, it is the same, and it will continue to be the same until you get to what God is calling you to. Right? Which brings me to my next point. Move as if it is already your time, it is already done. God doesn't want us to just love him when he gives us what we want. God wants us to love him even when we're angry, even when we are upset, even when we do not want to talk to him. He still wants us to love him as he loves us, not reject him as we we should have been rejected by him, right? Sitting on the cross, watching us continue to banter and spit and kill him and bruise and beat and murdering people, man. Like, we're doing these things to ourselves, and then we call our circumstances against us, but in all reality we have caused our own suffering. So causing your own suffering does not mean that we should call out God, because God is just going to bring you to your own suffering. And as you have been a dog, as it says in the word, that returns to his own vomit, as we have done many and many of times, to continue to go back to the same sin, back to the same bad habits, back to the same negative connotations that we continue to tell ourselves and do, that we do not realize that we are self-inflicting damage and being self-defying against our own purpose and our own beliefs and our own faith and our own God, right? Or our God. So faith is proof that you believe your time is now and not someday. So it doesn't mean, like, it doesn't matter if you don't have the money right now. It doesn't matter if you don't have the job. It doesn't matter if you don't have the wife or the husband. It doesn't matter if you don't have the kids. It doesn't matter if you don't have the car. It doesn't matter if you don't have the house, right? It doesn't matter, because the things that are with inside of you That's what you have to believe in. So you have to say that your time is now and not someday, even though it might not look like it. So do not believe that your circumstances have gone against you. What you need to believe is that your circumstances have brought you to this place and to this position. So now you have to change your circumstances, which means you have to change yourself and your decisions first before your circumstances will change. If you do not change yourself and get right with God, if you do not change your decision making and get right and doing that right, then how will you achieve anything? Because if you cannot change yourself, you will never be able to change your outcomes. And that's what we're doing consistently. You want to make more money, you're trying to change that outcome, you're using a system that has been working. You're changing yourself because you want to do more, you want to have more, you're gaining more responsibility, you're gaining more wages, you're gaining more ability, or you're becoming more conscious of it, and you're moving forward, you're doing those things. So you have to ask yourself, what would I do if I believed that it was my time now? Or if I saw that it was my time now, what would I be doing? What should I start doing? Waking up early, right? Not everyone has to wake up early. Waking up early does not mean you're going to be successful in life at all. Really, nothing that we know as of right now is going to make us successful. Yeah, you know what makes somebody else successful because you have watched and you have studied other things, but you don't know what's going to make you successful. So what you're doing is trying and trying and trying again and again and again, and wanting to have that success, wanting to have that circumstance change in your life and see the outcome be better in your life as well. So you have to visualize that. You have to gain the knowledge. You have to gain the wisdom and move forward. So not making excuses, right? So what excuses have you made, have I made, that have been using to wait instead of work? So what are you telling yourself now to stop yourself from working? What are you asking yourself and denying yourself and doubting yourself on to stop yourself from working so you can stay comfortable? So your situation can't convince you that your season's over, right? You are literally in the midst of a storm, in the midst of a fire, and God has never forgotten about you. God hasn't forgotten about you. God is still blessing people. He is still going to bless you. He still continues to bless you as you wake up every day and you see this video, and when we are healthy or not healthy, whatever, man, life is still a blessing. It was given to us. It was a gift. We were given these bodies. We were given these minds. We were given these spirits off the wage of death, off the wage of sin that we have considered on ourselves. So now that God has redeemed us, we are new. He's checking us. He's checking for our readiness. He's moving us forward. And He wants to see if your circumstances are going to consider who you are going to be. Or are you going to be the same person? Or are you going to get better? Or are you going to continue to cry out to Him and ask, what else do I need to do? What else can I do? And a lot of those things are going to be intangible. So never look for the materialistic things, but look for the things that are going to make you a better person. That's all I got for y'all, man. Once again, check out the books, the ebook, and the program book I'm about to put out, bro. I'm going to put a couple pictures on in this video. If you listen to the podcast, thank you so much for this, bro. As always, man, like, I hope y'all are loved and blessed. It's Kids Room Podcast, man. Let's grow together and let's really move forward with things, man. So that's all I got for y'all, bro. Thank y'all for tapping in with me on this one, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.